nothing at aldehyde on that. That's just a nice slow.
The pattern for this thing, along the lines of remembering it, is that once you learn that move, as you go through here, you're talking about. Notice that I'm going to perform very slowly and very deliberately, so that you can follow each and every move that I make. So it's basically that. It's just you're doing the same exact thing 3 times, and it all involves the load and that vanish and stuff. So once you learn to come in there and tilt that in there, you're just doing the exact opposite. You're doing that move.
You're going to get a lot of balls escaping until you master that.
I know I've already had it rolling all over the house. That's why I got the extra ones, extra set. I wouldn't have to get up so darned often. Honest to God, they go, I got a hard enough time. What you're saying that is once I got it here.
Ball will roll off into this palm, and if you hold it high, they're going to cut. It's going to.
Gotcha.
You're not going to see it happen.
Once again, always remember when you're practicing this, just do it. Forget about the 4th ball. Just leave the 4th ball out and actually tilt it into your hand.
Okay.
Just tilt the regular ball in your hand without
I can
even.
see where I got to get this on a board right off the bat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just leave the 4th ball out. Just set it aside.
okay.
And just go like this. Tilt the ball in your hand.
There you go.
Okay, don't lift the cup.
Just
do
give
it
a little
again.
tip.
Tilt,
That's
Right, now tilt it back. Now that's the motion you want to duplicate when you have the extra ball. Always do that. Whenever you're learning a new sequence or a
Do
new
it
anything,
like it really.
do it
That's gotta be
as
the
though it really
classic
works.
trick to learn for getting used to sleight of hand. Cause
Yeah, it would
you got a lot of different.
Little fingers going where when you're tipping this thing over?
I have
Underneath.
I have my ring and my pinky curled in, and the other 3 do the tipping.
Okay.
They're curled in because they're kind of holding that. Ball.
Yeah, they're holding the ball. So that's all you're doing is you're tilting the ball. Now watch watch this. Here's without the ball.
We'll get that on tape and we can turn this off.
Well, it's got an hour and a half tape, so.
Have you?
I
Why
just
is it
started it.
rewound now to the beginning?
Well, I was taping some of his basic moves to start with. He was showing the palm slide.
Okay, I'll just talk through the basic thing. You're
Sure.
actually explain the moves as opposed to doing the routine. Okay, that's the load sequence.
Right.
Then do any kind of either the French drop or the retention vanish, and you hit it with the wand. That's the first one. Then you immediately load the palm ball into the next cup and do the exact same thing. The second one is gone, and then you load the palm ball into the next cup, and you can do the same thing. Now after you really perfect these, you can use different vanishes. Maybe a French drop for the first ball, this one for the second one, and then maybe another one for the third one eventually. But after you vanish the 3, you use your wand to tip each cup, showing that the balls have reappeared under the cups.
Okay.
Okay, then what you're going to do is there's no palming or anything. You just hold the ball like this so that you can't see it.
Okay.
And I pick up one and throw them both underneath there.
Right.
Then I pick up this second ball and I pretend to throw it under there, and I hold it just like I held that first one. So it's a pretend to throw. Then I pick up the third one and throw them both underneath there. That of course leaves 2 under the end cups and none under here. And then that's the point where you ask them which, point to a cup. No matter what cup they point to here, if they point to this one or this one, you say that's where the magic will happen. Where do you want it to happen, or will go to? Where do you want the magic to start? And obviously it's a force. You force them to pick the middle cup, in which case, no matter where they point, one ball will jump across. And then you immediately repeat it. You legitimately throw it under here, and you fake. That's called what I'll just call a fake here, throwing it underneath there. Another way to do it is to clip it just like that as you push it underneath. But I myself, just prefer that one. And then you immediately repeat it to the other side. Then you take all 3 balls. This is like what I would call phase 3, and set them underneath it. There's really 3 because you loaded that extra one. And one on top. Now this is a move to make this ball go through this cup. And it's done like this. And what I actually did is I moved it up 1 cup.
Now that's one I haven't seen.
It's called the elevator sequence. So what I'm actually doing is tilting the ball, dropping it into that cup as I set that cup up on top. But it's done fairly quickly. It looks like the ball has gone through the cup. Okay, then what you want to happen is you want to have that extra ball underneath the middle. So I go ahead and I set the empty cup here. There's the extra ball. I turn the cup over, and I turn that one over, so they never see what's underneath there. Then you get into phase 4. I'll explain it real quickly like this, then I'll do it, walk through it quickly once. You have 3 balls on top of 3 cups, and you do the same move, you know, retention, it's called a retention vanish. You're keeping it in this hand, and then I pretend to put it underneath here. There's really nothing there, and I pretend to scoop it underneath there. I really have it here, so it looks like this. 1 ball under here, then I put both of them in the hand, and put both of them underneath the cup, so now there's really 3 here. You know, and then I put the third one, the vanish, and the scoop. And then it's, you know, really nothing to do. The work is already done, and they all appear here. I'll do that one I'll just do that one at regular speed again. What you actually have is 1 ball to start with under the middle cup. You do the vanish, and you go 1 ball underneath this cup, 1 ball underneath that cup, and 1 ball underneath that cup. Take the 2 balls from the ends, vanish them, and they all appear under the middle. That's that sequence. Then you have what's called the load sequence. This is like right prior to the finale. You show we have 1 ball under each cup. And you still have that one palmed here, you know, in that regular palm. And you notice that I always try to hold my hands, you know, the same way. It's not like I'm like this.
Right.
You know, it's always the same way, just kind of natural. And so then what I do then is I'm going to do what's a different type of load as opposed to this one where the cup stays on the ground. This one I actually lift it up, take the ball out, and when I set it down, I kind of drop the ball and set the cup on top of it. But it looks, you know, when you actually do it, it's like this. See, I'm actually kind of hitting the forward end of the cup so they can't see the ball drop, and then I put it in. So there is still a ball underneath there, even though I apparently took it out. I just loaded the other one back in, the one that was palmed here. So you do that once, and you say, we won't use this ball, we'll put it in our pocket. And you actually put it in your lap. You say, we also won't use this ball. And you legitimately, there's nothing done. You can just drop that one in your lap or in your coat pocket. So you really, all you have now is 1 ball here, none, and 1 there that they don't know about. Then you have your big loads in your lap. And I can go over this in more detail too, but you show 1 ball here. And when you go to show the second ball, what I actually have is a big ball in my hand. And notice that my index finger is kind of hanging on the table. That's so it's all set to come up. And what I actually do is I kick this ball out, making it roll so that they watch it. They didn't know that ball was there. And so they're watching that ball, and I come back and load that big ball. And actually, you can do it. You don't want to go down like this. You don't want to come up like that. You want this hand to just rotate right in there as soon as you get to that position and set it down. So they think there's only 1 ball. You go, we have 1 ball here, 1 ball there, and then that ball is already loaded. And then you can go ahead and say, and the way the directions will explain, say, I'll show you what I do. You tell the audience, I'll show you what I do. I pretend to take the ball. You know, it's like, I pretend to take it. Really, I keep it here. And so there's nothing underneath there. What I actually do is I take the ball that's in my hand and I throw it as I lift up the cup, and it looks like it's under there. Like that. And what I just did was load a big ball. But to be totally honest, I don't like that. What I do is after I do this one, I just go ahead and I take the ball and say, well, put this one in my lap too. And when I actually keep it here, when I go down, I grab a big ball and hang my index finger behind this cup. And I just don't tell them. I don't explain that. And so I have the ball palmed, and I just literally throw it out, throw the ball out as I lift up the cup like this. And then as soon as the ball is rolling in this direction, I have the cup here, I come back and do that load as I reach for the ball with my right hand. See, there's always something happening to divert their attention from what really happened. So it looks like this. The ball is in my hand, nothing under the cup, and the big one with your index finger all ready. You know, it's like that.
I know he's doing it, and I still wind up following it.
And so then for the third one, what you do is you put both hands in your lap, and you get both balls in this hand and the big ball in your left hand. And so you actually have 1 here, 2 there, and 1 there, and you pretend to tap the table a couple of times as though you were pushing balls through the table. And then you come up and you push that cup forward a little bit, and you have 2 here in your right hand and 1 underneath the cup, and you just lift up the cup kind of quickly, and it looks like all 3 balls come in. As you come back, and load that third big ball. Like, once again, you never lift up or you never go down. You just set the cup. It's almost like that's all ready for it. You just tilt your hand up in there. So that's last sequence is one like this. So then you're sitting with all 3 balls there. And that's basically the end of the standard routine. And then you can reveal all 3 of them. And just very quickly, I'll show, there's other types of moves. You know, there's the standard, real quick little routine. Real quick little routine where you just have the ball in that cup, and then you just hold those 2 cups like this. This is like almost like a whole routine by itself. You set the first cup down, which has that ball. You know, so it's just like this. And you never want to go, you know, I mean, it's not necessary. You can just tilt it over gradually, set 1 ball on top and 1 cup on top, and it'll look like 1 ball went through. Then you can go ahead and take that cup from the bottom, and it's got another ball in it, put it over there, and immediately repeat it. The second ball goes through.
That's where I'm at right now.
And then you could go ahead and do something like this, you know, then do that elevator move. And the third ball goes through. You can actually show it gone. That's just a little sequence of type of moves.
Can you do a short routine with the chop, just so I can see it?
Um,
So I can see the effect on that.
Not really, but I'll try. Just a real quick thing.
Oh, give me one of those magnet ones, Scott.
Here, never mind. I got this. This is a chop cup too. Okay, the routine that I do is I have it like this. Okay, and I say, you have the cup and the ball, the non-magnetic ball. I say, here, notice I have a ball and a cup. What I'm going to do is take that ball and put it in my lap, or I'm going to leave it underneath the cup. I'm going to go like this and leave it underneath the cup. You have to guess which. Do I leave it under the cup, or did I put it in my lap? Okay?
So they're always wrong.
They're always going to be wrong. So we have the ball in the cup. So if I go like this, which did I do that time? Did I leave it in the cup, or did I put it in my lap?
You took it.
No, I left it under the cup. Well, didn't hit it hard enough. Left it under the cup. Then you come up, and you can immediately go, here, I'll show you. I can push it down through, or I can even push it up through, you know. And then you can go like this, hit it down through. When you hit it down through, you notice that you get this one up here like that. Then there's always the penguin. It's the same idea. It's the same idea as all the way through. It's always, I don't do this routine. That's not even a routine that I did, but some ingenious moves that you can do with this, or if you have the magnetic ball in there during the routine. So it's like this. You pick up this ball, you drop the regular ball in. You don't let them see that there's 2 in there. Or the best way I found to use that is when you have a ball in there, and you have this one, say you do that, you know, and it goes through, you drop it in there. Watch this. Dump it out, take it out, and then you can immediately hit it and it'll go right through again. And that's simply, you have the magnet in there.
Right.
You do the French drop, and it's really over here, and you hit the cup. Well, you don't hit it hard enough to release the ball though. Yeah, you do. So the ball is released, and you have this ball palmed here. So you drop the magnet in there. It's now magnetic. But you dump it into your hand, and you let this one fall out. So you still have a ball there. And this way, both your hands are shown empty. You know, they've just seen, here's an empty cup. The ball is in the cup. And all of a sudden, your hands are empty. And you put it right over the ball. And, you know, you can do this and say, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take it out like this and push it back through. You know, and it's all a matter of having this ball here and being able to set the, you know, load that ball. And you can just set the cup right there so that it's all ready to load. Then all you do is you set the cup down over the ball. And you can vanish it here. You know, you can do this type of vanish. You can do the apparent, you know, up through the table type. You know, then when you finally do want one of those times when you go up through the table, you come and you do your big ball load the same way as the other one. And stuff. Those are just some basic moves you can do with the chalk
Does
cup.
the penguin come with it, or?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I just found it someplace.
That's cute.
It's cute. I love that penguin. It's just different.
It's always nice to use. And then there's, in the routine that you should really get a copy of the video with, it uses a shot glass and a silk. And if I recall, It's like this.
This is Hanning's routine, right?
Yeah. You have a shot glass, empty. You place this here, and that ball up there. Okay. Okay, this one is like in your lap too. And you just come down over that, give it a little tap, and the ball vanishes. And you think, oh, I should have gone. Oh, that's what it is. Your extra ball starts in here, and this is up on there. Okay, so here's the routine. You go, look, the shot glass, excuse me for the non-iron silk, no. Boom, that ball vanishes. You say, oh, went too far. You know,
Yeah.
it goes inside the bag. And then you can immediately, you know, go further into the routine and say, well, I'll tell you what we will do. We can take it and hit it up through the table or any number of things. And then there's another one you can do that's the same type of thing, only this time I actually use the silk. When I come off, I have the big ball here. I use that. Notice that the ball and silk are the same color. And then you can go ahead and say, boy, I just don't know about this routine. You know, and that's another way to load that big ball. You know, that's what Henning does with a silk. These are just ideas, you know, that you can do.
Right, I got some of those ideas out of the book on silk magic.
Can't you have that, I'm just guessing here too. Let me see that silk. It seems to me another thing you could do is you could go like this and put that in there, you know, having this
Right.
ball like this, and go like that. And now what you've done is you've caused it to penetrate right through the silk.
I think that is one sequence in that routine.
I missed that one.
Well,
You blinked, Roger.
Yes,
You
I
blinked.
was though,
yeah,
yeah.
what I started out with was the basic routine. What did you do? Give me 2 magnet balls for crying out loud?
You asked for them.
No, I didn't want them both.
One ball. I'll do it the same way. Okay, you start with one ball. Either put it in my lap or I'll leave it in the cup. The object would be for you to guess which one I do or whatever. You know, you can well, you can start with it here, or you can hit it up to the table, and you can start with it there. I usually though prefer to just knock it right through. And stuff. So or else you can hit it right through like this, or if you really wanted it, and then you can go ahead and do your any time during the routine. Some people prefer to do it in the middle. They say, well, here, we'll hit it. How'd that get in there? And they'll just go on with the routine, you know, and stuff. You can do the same effect with a regular cup. You can do almost everything, you know, except maybe not quite as openly clean, but to the layman, they'll never know.
Why don't you do
Yeah,
the whole
that's
cup
right.
and ball routine from start to finish now, so he sees the whole sequence? Yeah, without, you know, just as
I
if
have his
they've never
walkthrough
seen it
too,
before.
Yeah,
Well, that's the nice part now would be to get the whole.
Yeah, from start to finish, just as
Right.
if they'd never seen
You
it.
have these two face up, that one face down, and I turn over 2 cups each time. I go 1, 2, 3, and they'll all end up that. And it's just on this one,
360.
right?
You're not doing that move right, John. Can I start?
Yeah,
on
go
it?
ahead.
Okay.
I don't remember that one.
Yes,
I don't remember the deeper one either. Do the deeper one.
All right, in 3 moves, I'm going to turn it. I got to be sitting
Okay,
down.
one
to do it.
face up.
I'll just show you here. You can back that film up if you want.
Now I get it all.
All right, watch in 3 moves, okay? We got 1 up, we got 2 down. In 3 moves, the idea is to end them up. Watch, we got 1, we got 2. Didn't work, did it? Okay, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. They all end up down. Okay, you ready? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. All down. You think it's easy, and then they try it, and they never get it. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Now, I'll show it to you in slow
Cute.
motion.
Really
You
nice
got
trick.
1, you got 2, you got 3.
Yep.
See, you got 1, you got 2, you got 3. See, boy, that's a puzzler. And you say, this one goes through this one. See, this is a trick about as old as history itself. In fact, it traces back about 5,000 years. By no means is that as old as actually is. There's a few unusual things about the cups. One is that the inside of one is just slightly deeper than the outside. Of course, magic is always going to pass into a new dimension. Oh, another interesting thing is that one cup passes right through another. This one goes through, but you notice it goes through a little faster. Another unusual thing is that there's no insides or outsides. The inside is the outside, and the outside is the inside. I'll show you what I mean. Notice I have 3 like this. What we're going to do is in 3 moves, moving 1 cup in each hand a half a turn, we're going to end up with all of them upside down. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It is easy. Let me show you. We're going to go 1. We're going to go 2. We're going to go 3. Oh, it didn't work, did it? Maybe All right, we're gonna go 1. We're gonna go 2. We're gonna go 3. We did it that time. Now we'll make them go the other way. It's always hard when you go backwards. Okay, we're gonna go 1. We're gonna go 2. We're gonna go 3. You see? And they all end up the same direction with just 3 moves. Looks easy, doesn't it? Now, at that point, they're gonna be going 1. No, you can't do it in 2 moves. You gotta do it in 2. You can always say, well, we'll finish it for you. You know, they're stumped right there. You say, it's easy. You just have to go 2 more moves and you're there. You see?
That's cute.
You know, and then you say, now I've shown you the peculiarities of the cups. Now I'd like to introduce their companions. Okay, so go ahead and do the whole thing. No, John, starting from there. That's
Yeah,
all just fun play you can have.
Yeah, I never
Right.
I never do that in the routine. I don't even do the routine itself. You know, it's just something I learned for myself and for when other magicians are around. But I start with the 4th ball in the lap, or in your pocket, or you know wherever. And 3 cups face up, and then 3 inside the little container or whatever, just laying out on the table. And the wand.
Off to your right. It's important to be off to your right.
Yeah. So what I do is I'll tip the cups up after, if you want to do any of those opening sequence moves, I'll tip the cups up. I'll say, look, we have 1 ball for each of the cups. And as I reach for my magic wand, notice that's one of those times when I cross. The reason I cross is I tilt when I cross, which is natural, so this hand can drop to my lap and pick up that ball unnoticed.
Okay,
No,
now back up and just do the routine without explaining. Just do the routine. As if, you know, start over with the balls in there. That's the whole setup. They know that. They should see what it's supposed to look like just from the beginning, just as if they've never seen it.
Okay, we have cup number 1, cup number 2, and cup number 3. To go along with those 3 cups, we have 3 balls. And of course, also with this routine, we have a magic wand. What I do is 1 by 1, I take the balls into the hands, and I perform very slowly, and I perform very deliberately. And for this reason, you should be able to follow each and every move that I make. That, of course, leaves us with 1 ball under each cup. What I'll do now is take the balls and place them under the cups. If you'll be so kind, sir, to just point to a cup, any cup.
Middle one.
The middle one. Okay, take the ball out from the middle one. Roger, which cup would you like it to go into? My left or my right?
This one.
This one, okay. Just drop the ball in just like that. You can see the ball goes in. Here, I'm sure that you're wondering, was that a setup or something? No, it wasn't, because I could have caused it just as easy to go underneath this cup. What I'll do now is take all 3 balls, or all 2 balls underneath here, and the 3rd one on top. 2 underneath, 1 on top. And the other 2 cups. What I'll do then is cause that ball to penetrate the cup, leaving all 3 underneath. This, of course, leaves us with 3 cups and 3 balls. What I do now is take 1 ball underneath the 3rd cup, 1 ball underneath the 2nd cup, and 1 ball underneath the 3rd cup. You then pick up the balls, snap them, they vanish, and all appear underneath the center cup. You know, I'm sure this is a little bit confusing. You can actually see I have 1 here, 1 there, and 1 there. That's 3 balls and 3 cups. What I'd like to do is remove a ball to make it a little easier for you. As a matter of fact, I'll remove another ball, of course leaving us with 1 ball here. Question is, how did the 2nd ball get underneath here? Well, I'd like to explain that one, but before I explain that, perhaps we should talk about the 3rd one that's underneath here. As a matter of fact, if I give a little tap, we find all 3 are underneath here. If I were to take those 3 balls now, back into the container, and just like salt or pepper, I can sprinkle them back into the cups. They didn't go. Well, perhaps that's because they didn't fit. Then you can reveal your 3. And just as an option there, I'll just do the other ending really quickly. Take these 2 just like that. Whoops. And you set that one there, this one here, and that one there, then you can do the 5. The sequence for that 5 one is really easy, but I mean, I never tried it before today. I just learned it. You have the 2 in your lap and the 3 here. That's the end of the routine right here. If you want to do that other ending, you lift up the 2 end cups, holding the balls in them. And with your left hand on top, you literally just stack the cups there and pull them apart. So you're sitting here. There's 1 underneath the bottom, there's 1 there, and there's 1 here. Then I drop this ball and let it roll this way as my left hand goes to my lap and loads the ball. It's like that obvious. I just go right to my lap. But it's under the thing that, hey, where'd those balls come from? As that ball rolls, you know, you load that ball. But what you've got to remember to do, and this is what I can never remember to do, is go right to your lap after that with your right hand cup. So it's like this. Boom, I go to my lap and I go to my, I go to my lap. And you set that down. And so you have the fourth one, you set that there, and the fifth one has just been loaded. And you set that ball on top of there. And then you tilt, and there's your 3 balls. And you say it's an afterthought, oh, I always like to carry a few extra. So those are the, in my opinion, that's a better ending, you know, by far. Something that's
Kinda
worth the
neat,
time
yeah.
to learn.
Yep.
And stuff, but that's basically the whole routine.
Another follow through too is at the end, let them look at your cups. Well, in your case, you have an extra heavy cup, so basically, one thing they really want to know is, are these solid?
Right.
I mean, if
Yeah.
they want to look
Well,
at it.
that's not saying that they couldn't have one cup at a time.
What you do is you show it like that, and you say, well, here, if they want to see one, you can hand them a cup, you know.
Right, but you don't have them 2 at the same time unless they're both the same. You know.
Here's a one.
Anybody ever said anything on that? I'd never worry about it. You say, yeah, that's always the hardest one to get a ball to pass through. It's a little thicker.
This is another sequence that I don't do in the routine that I've seen people do that they get a really good response out of it. You have the 3 in like a triangle, and you have the extra one underneath the right cup. So you have 1 here, then you have these 3, and it's just a matter of, this is, what would you say, you're conditioning their mind and stuff. So it's like, with that hand kind of curved, you knock the left one in. With this hand kind of curved, you knock the right one in. And then you go to knock the front one in, which you really just like literally clip it and hold it there. So it looks like you put 3 underneath there. Then you can go ahead and say, well, if there's only 2 here and one underneath there. And then when I set that back down, I also load that one. So now there's really 2 under here. And you immediately repeat it. You go, look, 1 here, 1 there. Oh, now there's only 1. And 2. Then you can say, well, here, this last one, we'll just take it like this. You know, then you're all set for that sequence. 1 ball under here, 1 ball under there, and 1 ball under there. You know, and whatever. So, like, the object is to just learn the sequences. You know, just practice 1 at a time. For instance, when you're starting, just practice this, you know, over and over. That, and then it's immediately repeated, you know.
Using either that or the
Right.
French drop.
You know, the French drop would be and stuff, and then revealing them. You learn that sequence, and then completely separate. You know, just forget that, and completely separate. You know, you wanna, like for instance, learn that sequence where you have 1 here and the 3 there, and you know, do the retention and pretend to slide them in. You know, just obviously exposing it and stuff. Do that sequence. And stuff, and what you want to do is get them to flow together naturally, but you have to learn, you have to know each sequence before, you know, you can put them all together. And like I say, there's only 2 moves basically. It's only this move, and the French drop, and that load move. Everything is based on those moves, so that's what you should, you know, spend the most time practicing.